Good day, class. So this is Sir Jess, and for today's video, we're going to discuss differentiation rules for algebraic, trigonometric, exponential, logarithmic, and inverse trigonometric functions. So our objective is to apply the differentiation rules in computing the derivative of algebraic, trigonometric, exponential, logarithmic, and inverse trigonometric functions. Okay, sa module na to, papag-aralan natin yung differentiation rules. And marami yon. So, isa-isahin po natin. So, we have here, first, the constant rule. If c is any constant and y is equal to f of x is equal to c for all x, then dy over dx is equal to ddx of c is equal to f prime of c, which is equal to 0. So, basically, ang ibig lang sabihin nito, kapag meron kang constant, automatic, 0 ang magiging derivative nun. So, example tayo. Okay, for example, we have f of x equals 7. So, automatically, our f prime of x is equal to 0. Same with here. If our f of x is equal to 1/2, our derivative is 0. And the same with here. Our derivative is 0. Alright? Let's have the next rule. Okay, the power rule. So if y equals x raised to n is a power function for some positive integer n, then d dx of x raised to n is equal to n x raised to n minus 1. Okay? So, ibig sabihin lang nito, pag meron daw tayong power, ang gagawin na natin sa ating power, which is n, ay i-multiply natin siya doon sa ating base, no? Or in other words, ibababa na natin yung ating n. And then, babawasan natin ng isa yung ating pong n para maging, yun na po yung magiging power. Okay, so tignan natin, magbigay tayo ng example para mas malinaw. Okay, so let's find the derivative of f of x equals x raised to 5. So here, our n is 5. Tama? Okay, so using our formula or our rule, we could say that since we have our n which is 5, we could say that f prime of x is equal to yung ating n, yung ating power muna isulat natin, 5, and then copy natin yung ating base, which is x, and then bawasan natin ng isa yung ating 5, which is equal to 4. So, that means our f of x equals x raised to 5. The derivative of that is 5x raised to 4. Okay? Let's have another example. Alright, in this case, our n is equal to 12. Okay, so since our n is equal to 12, our derivative would become, okay, copy natin yung 12, and then copy natin yung base, and then bawasan natin ng isa yung 12 para maging power ng ating x. So that would become 11. So our derivative here is 12x raised to 11. Again, ganyan lang po kasimple yung pagkuha ng power rule. That means, maging ano lang tayo sa ating pong power. Yung power natin, isusulat lang natin sa baba, and then babawasan natin ng isa para sa power ng ating pong base. Okay? So, ganoon lang siya. Next, let's have the identity rule. Oh, okay. So, kung mapapansin nyo po dito, ang sabi, if y equals x, then d dx is equal to 1. Okay? Ano ibig sabihin ito? Ibig sabihin lang, kapag yung ating pong given ay x or any variable, automatic po magiging 1 yan. Kung i-explain natin, kasi nagmula rin lang yan sa power rule. Dahil for instance, meron tayong f of x equals x. Kung kukunin natin ng ating pong, ang power nito ay 0. Ang power nito ay 1. Diba? Kasi x raised to 1 is actually x din. So, kung gagamitin natin yung power rule, okay, ang sabi sa power rule, kailangan daw i-copy yung ating pong power. So, magiging 1 and then copy yung base and then bawasan na natin isa ang ating power. So, 1 minus 1 is 0. So, automatic, ano mangyayari? Magiging 1. And we know that x raised to 0 or any number raised to 0 is equal to 1. No? Kaya ito yung nangyari, no? Na if we have x or any variable po na given, automatically that will become 1. Alright? Alright, let's proceed to the fourth rule. This is called the constant multiple rule. So if c is a constant and f of x is a differentiable function, then d dx c of f of x is equal to c d dx of f of x. Okay, this means that the derivative of a constant multiplied by a function is equal to the constant times the derivative of the original function. Okay, magbigay tayo ng example para mas malinaw. Example, we have find the derivative of f of x equals 8x raised to 6. So as you can see here, our constant is 8. Okay? And our function is x raised to 6. Alright? So ang sabi dito, we are just going to get the constant times the derivative of the original function. Okay? So, we have f prime of x is equal to 8. We will just copy 8. And then, our derivative, or the derivative of x raised to 6 is actually, okay, copy the power, 6. And then, copy the base, x. And then, subtract 1 from 6. So, we have 5. So, we have 8 times 6, that is 48. X raised to 5. So this is our derivative. Next, let's have another example. We have y equals 25x raised to 5. Again, to get the derivative of that, ang gagawin lang natin ay kakopy na natin yung constant, so which is equal to 25. And then, imumultiply natin ito doon sa ating derivative ng ating x raised to 5. So, again, makikita natin na this is a power. No? Yung 5 is a power. So, we can use power rule. So, copy natin yung 5. And then, copy yung base. And subtract 1 from 5. So, we have 4. Now, we can multiply 25 by 5. So, 25 by 5 is 125 x raised to 4. Okay? So that is how we use or we apply constant multiple rule. Again, copy lang natin yung constant and then kunin natin yung derivative. Kung ito ay power rule, so apply natin yung power rule. So copy natin yung power 6 and mabawasan natin yung 6 ng isa, so magiging 5. So we will get our derivative 48x raised to 5. Just like here. So we get 125x raised to 4. Let's try this example. So we have y equals 6x raised to negative 2. Okay, so again, to get our derivative, we can write y prime is equal to, copy the constant, and derive natin ito x raised to negative 2. So since our power is negative 2, so we will just write negative 2 and then copy the base and then subtract 1 from negative 2. So ano mangyari dyan? Magiging negative 2 minus 1, no? So this is equal to 6 times negative 2 x Negative 2 minus 1 is negative 3. Okay? So we can have 6 times negative 2, that is negative 12, x raised to negative 3. And this is not the final result. No? Kasi in order to have the standard form, we are going to apply yung ating pong power rule na sinasabi doon, or sa law of exponent, we have, if we have a base or if we have an exponent which is negative, gagawin na natin, this is equal to 1 over x raised to the power. Okay? So, mawawala yung ating negative na sign, pero ang gagawin natin, mapupunta siya sa denominator. And our numerator is 1. So, in this case, we have negative 12. So, again, magiging 1 over x cube ito. So, ano mangyayari? Multiply lang natin. We have negative 12 over x cube. Ayan. So, this is our answer. Okay, let's have another example. So, in this case, we have y equals 2x raised to 1/2. So, we have our derivative is equal to y prime. And since we have a constant here, copy natin yung constant. And then, ang ating power ay 1/2. So, copy natin yung 1/2. And, copy yung base. Then, itong 1/2 na to, babawasan lang natin ng 1. Okay? So, ano mangyayari? We know na 2 times 1/2 is actually 1. So, 1 times x is actually x na lang. Now, 1/2 minus 1 is negative 1/2. Since this is a negative power, so sabi natin sa ating pong law of exponent, natin i-transform ating pong expression na to, or ang ating term na to, sa na positive ang ating exponent. So, magiging 1 over x raised to 1/2. O kaya naman, pwede natin sabihin 1 over square root of x. So, parehas lang silang dalawa. Let's proceed to the sum and difference rule. So, if f of x and g of x are differentiable functions, then d dx of f of x plus or minus g of x is equal to d dx f of x plus or minus d dx of g of x. Okay? This means that the derivative of the sum or difference of two differentiable functions is equal to the sum or difference of their derivatives. Okay, let's have an example. Let's find f prime of x equals 5x raised to 4 plus 3x cubed minus 6x plus 8. Okay, so we will get our derivative. Ang sabi doon, kailangan na natin kunin ang mga derivatives ng ating pong function or ng bawat term. Okay? So, since this is a constant multiple rule, copy lang natin yung ating 5, no? And then, this is a power rule, so multiply natin yung ating pong power dito sa ating base. So, we have 4x, and then bawas natin ng isa, ang 4 magiging 3. So, we have 4x cubed plus 3. And then multiply natin sa ating power. So 3, baba natin yung 3, and then x, then bawas natin ng isa yung 3, magiging 2, minus, ito naman, alam natin, this is identity rule, no? So ang ating x magiging 1, plus, and then ang ating pong constant, kasi ito ay constant, magiging 0. So that means, our derivative will be 5 times 4, that is 20, x cubed, plus 3 times 3, that is 9, x squared, minus 6 times 1, that is 6, plus 0 is 0. So, now, this is our derivative. Our derivative is 20x cubed plus 9x squared minus 6. This time, let's have the product rule. So, if f of x and g of x are differentiable functions, then d dx of f of x times g of x is equal to f of x d dx g of x plus g of x d dx f of x. This means that the derivative of the product of two differentiable functions is the first function times the derivative of the second function plus the second function times the derivative of the first. Or you could say first times the derivative of the second plus second times the derivative of the first. Okay, bigay tayo ng example. Okay, so ang sabi dito, differentiate the function f of x equals quantity 4x minus 3 times quantity 2x plus 5. Okay. Ang kailangan daw natin gawin, kailangan nating makita yung ating first. So ito yung ating first factor. And then ito naman yung ating second. Okay? So ibig sabihin na bakit ko nilagay ito? Kasi para hindi tayo malito sa pagbuha ng derivative. Okay? So kung kunin natin ang ating derivative, we have f of f prime of x is equal to, again, kunin muna natin yung first. Copy natin yung first. So the first is 4x minus 3. And then, we get the derivative of the second. So, kunin natin yung derivative nito. So, we have, kung kunin natin ang derivative nito, ano ba ang derivative ng 2x? So, syempre, we have here 2. And then, di ba yung x natin, magiging 1 na lang yan. Plus 0, kasi ang 5 ay 0 na lang. Kasi that is a constant rule. And then, plus tayo, sabi kasi dyan, ay kailangan natin mag-plus. And then, copy natin yung second. Ang second natin is 2x plus 5. Now, we will get the derivative of the first naman this time. So, we have the derivative of 4x is 4. And then, yung x magiging 1. Then, itong ating pong 3 magiging 0. Kasi that is a constant rule. So let's simplify. We have quantity 4x minus 3. And 2 times 1 is 2 plus 0 is 2. Plus 2x plus 5 times 4 times 1 is 4 minus 0 is 4. Now, i-distribute natin yung ating pong 2 sa bawat term sa loob ng ating parenthesis. So, we have 4x times 2, that is 8x, minus 3 times 2, that is 6, plus 2x times 4, that is 8x, plus 5 times 4, that is 20. Then, combine like terms. So, we have 8x plus 8x. So, 8 plus 8, that is 16x. Then, negative 6 plus 20 is positive 14. Okay? So, this is our derivative. We have 16x plus 14. Para madali nating maalala kung ano yung ating product rule, tuturuan ko kayo ng yung tinatawag nating du/dv. Okay? So, gagamit tayo ng d, ibig sabihin nun, derivative yon. Then, yung u, that is our first term. And then, yung v, that is our second term. Okay? So, kung gagamit tayo ng du over dv, o du/dv, ang ibig sabihin lang nun, sa ating formula, magiging derivative of uv. Okay? So, sabi dyan, you have u dv plus v du. Or, pwede rin namang v du plus u dv. No? Same lang sila ng magiging result. Kasi nga addition naman yan. So, pwedeng kahit saan dyan yung mauna, no? Pero ang ano lang nito ay para madali nyo masaulo. So, ang u natin, that's the first term. Yung v natin, that's the second term. So, if we're going to apply this, pwede natin sabihin that our d is equal to 4x minus 3 and our sorry, this is not d. This is our u. Okay, so this is our u. And our v is 2x plus 5. So, using du dv, so derive na natin yung ating u. Ang derivative nito would be 4. Then minus 3, which is, so 4 times 1, di ba? So, magiging 0. And then 4 times 1 is 4, minus 0 is 4. So, this is our du. Now, for our dv, we will just get the derivative of this. So, if we're going to get the derivative of 2x, we will have 2 times 1 plus a 0. So, our dv is 2. Okay? Now, isa-substitute lang natin itong mga value na to para makuha natin yung derivative. Okay? So, we have our u is 4x minus 3. Then, our dv is 2 plus our v is 2x plus 5 and our du is 4. So, we have 4x times 2, that is 8x, minus 3 times 2, that is 6, plus 4 times 2, that is 8x, plus 5 times 4, that is 20. So, we will get 8x plus 8x, that is 16x. And negative 6 plus 20 is positive 14. Okay? So you can see, the same lang po yung ating magiging sagot. We have 16x plus 14 dito using du dv. At dito naman, 16x plus 14. So, they are the same. Ngayon, sa inyo kung ano yung way na gusto ninyo or feeling ninyo mas madali. Okay?